up? We're back again with the second episode of making Wordle. I call it Workle. But in the first episode, we kind of tackled up how to make the board. And just for reference, this is where we finished. You can type a word, and if you hit enter, does nothing at the moment, but you can see I have that printing out on the console. So for this episode, we are basically going to do the basic functions of Wordle. We're going to do a when-loss condition, and we are just going to do the green, reds, and grays basically that happen on a Wordle board. And to get started, what I think we should start with would be, let's select the random winning word. And so right after we go to all spaces, just hit enter a couple times, and we're actually going to start with the word enter is equal to 0. This will be a counter used later on. And then we're going to do list of words. You can make this, whatever you want. It's just a list. And we're going to do words doc, which we have up here. Words doc is equal to word.text. And we're going to do, we're just going to read it. And clarify read dot split lines. And basically, and I'll show you that what we have is, if I can find it, let me see, that's Wordle. We have this stored in our folder, and I'll post this on my GitHub, but these are 5-letter words that are possible answers for Wordle. And this is basically where we'll get the list. So basically what we're doing with that line is we're reading this document, going line from line, and we're splitting lines so we just know where each thing is. And one of these will become the Reddit word. You can see some fun words in here, and you can see some words that might not be words that we usually use or anything like that. That will come in a later episode. Again, I just pulled this list from online. Some of the words might be a little weird, and we have a function later on that will block these words from appearing again. So for right now, that's what that will look like. That's our list of words, and that's how we're pulling all of this together. Let me get my stuff pulled back up and let us continue. So after we split those lines, we're going to do win word. Obviously, this is a word that is going to be our randomly picked word to win the game. So win word is random.choice list of words. And then if we want, we can do a print win word. And lastly, what we're going to do is do listed win word is equal to, you guessed it, list win word. Show you what this means a little bit later, but basically we're breaking up that win word into an individual list. So if the word was coded, it'd be C-O-D-E-D. So it'd break that part up into a list. So if we ran this right now, not much would be different, but in the console, after it fully loads, again, my computer is super slow. That's the word that was chosen to be the winning word. As of right now, if I went in and just typed that in, it won't do anything, but you can see I'm typing it in. So now we have our winning word that's been chosen. That'll change every single time you boot up the game. Now we kind of play around with it. You can see I have all this commented out. This is stuff we'll be using. I'll kind of go over it as we are doing this. And it's been a while since I've done this part, so let's make sure all the indentation's correct. Right there, right there, right there. Okay, so for this first part, we're going to do if the length of the word that we submit is equal to 5. So if it's a valid 5-letter word and the word is alpha, just basically all letters. If word is in list of words, so we only care if that word exists in our list of words. Your guest is in our list of words. So some words you might put in that are 5 letters and don't exist in that list might not show up, but basically we're saying, so if that word is in there, we're going to turn that submit button into green, and then we're going to change the color of that type submission where you type that word in. We're going to change that to light gray and the font is black, and then we're going to run the function of check word, which I believe we did. No, we have not. Okay, cool, perfect. We'll do that today, and that's an easy one. And then we have to have our else statement. I was seeing, it's been a while since I've done the comment out thing. It's been a while. I can't remember the keystrokes for that. So we have our else, and I think that's indented correctly. If that word is not 5 letters and is not alpha, we're going to delete everything that's in the submission line. We're going to make it red to make the user know that, hey, you input a valid word. We're going to turn that submit button red as well, and we're going to focus back into that. So again, if we ran this now, indent, of course, it's on this one. There we go. And do these match? No, they do not. Let's try now. We're running it. I'll pull in the console. You'll see which word gets selected. See, that's not a real word. We'll deal with that later on, though, not this episode. But if I typed in irate, we get check words not defined. However, so that's the 5 letters that is correct, and all that good stuff. Let's see if I can do. I forget what words aren't not in there. It's hard to think of 5-letter words that don't exist in that list, but you will come across this. So let's go ahead and I even have an else. Oh yes, of course. We have our else lined up with this, and we just turn the submit button red. Boom. Okay. Let's continue for right now, and we'll kind of come back and we can observe a little bit more of that. We're going to go into that check word function. We start this off like anything else. Def check word, and we're going to accept W as a variable. And I'm going to copy this over just because it's a lot, but we do initialize some global values in here. If I do that, boom. Space it out a little bit. We're going to do spaced word hint is equal to this. We're going to do updated word is equal to list W, and that's important. And then we're going to just print the updated word. So what we're doing is updated word is basically the word you typed into that submission line. I keep typing the word irate. That's the word I usually use in Wordle as my first word. So that word irate will get taken to check word, and it will be put into a list. So IRATE. It will be split out, and that's important because we do that with the win word too. So that's how we check if it's in the correct area or in that word at all. Down here, after print updated word, we're going to do count is equal to 0. We're just setting a counter, and finished is equal to 0 as well, another counter. For space, in all spaces, which we have that empty list up here for all spaces, and we append them down here, so it's all those dynamic buttons we made. We're going to do if globals. We're turning a string into a variable. Space. We're going to check the state is equal to normal. And don't forget your colon. And then we're going to do globals space dot config we're updating it, and we're basically going to do text is equal to updated word, and we're going to do count, so we know that's going to be 0 the first time through. State is equal to disabled, and we're going to disable foreground is equal to black. After this, we're still in that first if statement. We're doing another if to end that. If updated word count is in word when word. So we check the list if and if I use the word irate and the when word was slept, you'd see E would be yellow but not in the right space. That's what we're kind of checking in this section. So if updated word count in when word, we're going to do another if updated word count is equal to listed when word count. So we're going letter by letter. We're going to do globals. So we're saying if that first letter is in fact matching up with that when word, we're going to do global space, and we're just basically updating that specific area. So .config, we're going to do background is equal to green. We're going to do turn color is equal to updated word count plus, make that a capital B, button. And we're just going to do a finished plus equal 1. With in line with that last if, we're doing an else, and basically we're just kind of going down the line, and you can copy all 3 of these and go down here, paste. I did a copy again, obviously. Oh, come on. Copy, go right here, paste. Instead of green, we're going to do yellow. And I forgot one thing up here. Basically, you can copy this global copy. After turn color, we're doing that, and instead of space, we're going to do turn color, and that will be green, and you can just grab that. We're going to do the same thing down here, and it will also be green. And then we're going to go out and match it up with that updated word count and do else, and we're going to use a hex code actually instead, but this time just grab these 3 and don't grab that finished, and go right here, paste it, and we're actually going to bring those in 1, and we're doing that updated space, and basically we're just doing # 565656. That's all good right there, and then we're just doing that again with 565656. And then lined up with that else statement, we're just going to do a count plus equal 1. And let's go ahead and finish out this section. So the next thing we're going to do is, in line with that first if statement that we have, we're going to do another if finished is equal to 4. I'm going to space that out just a tiny bit more. We're going to do enter plus equal 1. And then we're going to do a type submission dot delete, and that's not how you spell delete, delete, and we're going to do 0 to tk dot end. And basically what this does is it erases what you typed in that submission bar from the first character to the last character. And then we're going to pass it to unlock. Unlock's an interesting function that I added. Basically, if you think about it, there's 6 guesses you can do in Wordle. What I did starting off, and if you go down here to the board that we created everything disabled. So every single guess is disabled, and that's what finished does. It opens up, or it's either finished or count. It opens up the next set. It's finished. Opens up the next set of guess. So when you go onto that first guess, that whole row will become unblocked and kind of continue. So this will lead us into unlocking more of the guesses. And then we go to else, and we'll do enter plus equal 1 type, and you can literally just do this. Boom. Let's space it back down so we can do that. Type submission, delete 0 to end, and then we unlock again. And I forgot one more, which is in between these, and you can just copy this for one. In between those, paste it, add a elif right there, and if it's equal to 5, we are not going to do an enter, so we can get rid of that. We're going to do the delete, and then we're creating another thing called outcome, and we're going to pass the variables 1, and then we are also going to pass enter plus 1. That's another function. Basically, it's the outcome function. Did you win? Did you lose? If we run this, it might break because we don't have a lot of these functions working currently. You can see the word chosen is sides. Here is this. You can see it breaks up the word irate, but then unlock is not defined, so we're not doing anything currently. But that's what we're doing when we're making your guess into a list. So let's continue down. We're going to now, after this, we're going to do the function of def unlock. And we're not passing anything. And for the global, we're only doing all spaces. We're doing row, we're doing column, we're doing enter, and we're doing windward. That's it. And this one is fairly simple. It's just repetitive. And so I'll copy one over just to kind of show you. We go back over here, we paste it. So if enter is equal to 0, so it's enter that unlocks the next area. So if enter is equal to 0 for I in range 5, you turn all of these states to normal. So if I can pull this back up, this would be all normal. All of these are disabled. First guess would be turn these enabled. Turn these enabled for the second enter, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and so on. So basically that's what we're doing. If enter is equal to 0, we're making those normal. And literally you can just copy this, space down, go ahead and just paste it a couple times. I'm just going to paste it that many times, see if that's enough. We're going to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the only other thing you have to do is make sure you change these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do, if enter is equal to 5, we're going to do this, and then within that we're going to do if enter is greater than 5, and basically it's the lose. If enter is greater than 5, we're doing outcome, which is the other, we just used the win one, we're going to do lost. And I just put an X there, you'll see why later. Okay. Now, we just do the outcome. And I mean, right now I can run it and hopefully give you a good idea what you're looking at right now. So that's the letter pulled. If I start with irate, we're still getting, because we don't have all those done yet. So let's just continue. We'll do def outcome. And we're going to do final outcome and final score. So basically we're just renaming what we're getting. So lost would be the final outcome, final score would be X. This is the fun part, something we haven't tackled yet. I call it pop-up. We're making a new window within our tkinter. TK, boom. Basically you can copy and paste, where is it? This part right here, and just change up some of the words. So we can do that. We'll go down here, just paste it, and just make sure it's in the function. And we're just going to call it pop-up, 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 and then instead of Wordle in here, you're going to do type in U, and then we're going to do plus, make sure you space after that U, plus final outcome. And then this is all good. And of course, when you open it up, you have to close it. So you have to do pop-up dot, what is it, main loop? Yeah, pop-up main loop. And within these, you can give yourself a little bit of space in there. I am just going to copy these in and we can kind of go over them. You can pause the video to kind of see how to write it out, but it's everything that we've been doing. If I can, there. Are you not pasting? Paste. Are you really not pasting right now? Copy. There we go. Okay. So we have word label is just a label, and it tells you what the winning word was. The word was string win word. And then we have winner label, U, and then the final outcome. So it's kind of just like what we did out here, and then the score. Now hopefully if I run this, maybe we'll get a little something. Nay is the word, and let's see if this is working. So we're still getting final outcome is not defined. Well, that is interesting because that's not how you spell outcome. Outcome, did I spell it weird anywhere else? I don't think so. And let's bring this in. Hopefully we can see. So something's going on that's a little wonky because we do get the word was musky. You lost X out of 6 and it started off on here. So something's a little bit off in the code. Let us go through real quick. And well, first, thing we have to do is we have to throw an unlock in here. And let's see if that fixes some of the issue. Nerds, I don't know if that's a word, but like I said, a lot of these might not be real words, but it is a list I pulled. So we do see it did pull in the word irate. You can see I mark it, so this will get colored. Just for some reason, it's not picking up that right now, but we know ERTs and NERTs, and so it's telling me those are in there, and we just have to highlight those. So on this bottom alphabet section, it just tells you green or black. Black means those letters are definitely not in there. Green is those letters are in there, but we will get these to turn to yellow, black, and green. So it's telling me that the list is out of range in line 71. If I go to the line numbers and we go up to 71, so let us take a gander. This is in the check word. So we got globals space dot config. We got updated word count equal da da da. Let me just make sure we're getting our count plus 1 in there. Count plus 1 is right there. Let me try this real quick. Oh, come on. This computer is so slow. You can see that it's dying. It's on its last legs. Copy. And this is all for this. So I'm just going to try this real quick to see if that gets me the results I need. Highlight, Control V. We throw that in there, save it. Let's run it real quick. Suits. Okay, that worked. It's just not appending the colors up here, which is strange, because we have that written in. But this, again, could be a Mac issue. Huh. These aren't changing colors. So that makes me think. Let's see here. You guys would be changing colors within check word because we have the green, yellow, but it's not hitting these maybe. So something we can easily do is just like, I like to just do like print 1 to see if we're in there. Print 2. Print 3. And then we're going to do print 4. I just put quotes on it just in case. I doubt we need them, but and this will basically just let us know where we're hitting within this. If we're actually hitting the right spots. If we're hitting the right spots, then I think it's just a Mac issue. If I type in irate, we hit submit, we're hitting 444. So only E should be, E is in the yellow. What was the word? It's keels. So yeah, E is there. No other letters. So that makes sense. Okay, so fast forward a little bit. I did some research. tkinter, weird on Mac. Mac is not a great product for this. However, I am trying to get a new computer here soon, hopefully Windows. But this is what I found out. Background, weird on Mac. So for Windows, you're going to have a really nice, beautiful interface, and it's going to be this up here, background green, background yellow, background this. For Mac, it's going to be disabled foreground is equal green, Disabled foreground is equal to yellow. Disabled foreground is equal to this. It's not as pretty, and I'll put a side-by-side comparison what these products will look like on Windows and Mac. But if we run this now, I'll pull this over here. It's taking a second to launch. That's our word. We come over here. Let's start with my favorite word. You can see, although that is hideous letters, that's an R, A, T, and E that are all yellow. So all of those are in Terra. R is right there, E right there, T right there, and A. So basically we have it, but let's pretend that we don't. So let's just type in hello a few times so we can get the losing condition. And after we do that, we get the word was Terra, you lost X out of 6. Now let's try it. Carve is the word. And now let's do irate. You can kind of see what's going on here. Let's do, I like doing modus second. Nothing in modus, but we know the word, so I'm just going to do carve. And we see those are all green, and we see the word was carve. You won. Took us 3 guesses out of 6. So that's really it for today. Sorry for that little mashup in towards the end there with the Mac and Windows thing, but I will show you kind of a side-by-side comparison, what this will look like on Mac, what this will look like on Windows. You can see that these letters were all in the word. The ones in gray were not, and the ones that are still gray-white are still available to be used. Not meaning I couldn't use like the T now, but it's just saying, hey, try to avoid this letter. So that's it for this episode. We covered coloring the letters on the board and this alphabet and getting them onto the board. In next episode, I hopefully am going to go over a scoreboard so you can kind of keep track over every single time you play. Redacting words, so like if you think Terra wasn't a word or carve wasn't a word, you can delete it from the list without doing any kind of intervention. It will just be a part of it. And then third would be the play again function. So all these are very cool and kind of makes the game flow a little bit more. So hopefully I will get to those in the next episode. But for now, thank you for checking us out. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. It helps me out and lets me know that people are interested in what I'm doing. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.